What's up, Karma Nation? Welcome back to another edition of the Golf Podcast, the Teen It Up edition. I'm your host, AC, with DFSkarma.com and BetKarma.com. I have my co-captain, my co-host, Sam Sherman. We are going to talk everything DraftKings golf. We're going to talk a little props, but definitely some betting. As always, you can find all of our content, our final thoughts, and our betting stuff at BetKarma.com and DFSkarma.com. So with that being said, Sam, how did your week go last week? We always like to start in reverse now that we got 1 week in. And then we're going to talk about what we're looking at the American Express Open in specific 3 courses this week. You can talk about that. I think they play the stadium course twice, and I think we only get data on one of the courses. So it's one of the, again, early in the year, I say the same thing. I'm very on the same brand of I don't get too into the data early in the year, but in the next few weeks I will start getting more on point with that myself.
Yeah, last week was, I don't know, it was a classic. It was kind of annoying. I mean, I didn't get torched by anything or have any brutal, triple on the last hole. I mean, it was a little annoying that I guess he was so chalky, I guess probably didn't matter. But Webb, I don't know what the hell Webb was doing. I don't know if he was just hammered, but he sucked. Dude, he went out by himself on Saturday and shot 1 over. I don't know what he was doing, but that kind of blew. And then I don't know. I took a risk on taking these 2 6K guys because I like the rest of my team. Nick Hardy is a bad putter, so I shouldn't be shocked that he putted himself out of it. And then, yeah, I mean, it was a little brutal that I would have basically broken even if Henley had not gotten run down by Hideki, but it is what it is. Dude, I will say, though, if Henley had won after everyone liked him, I didn't bet him, it was too short of a number. If I had that happen to me 2 weeks in a row, I would have lost my mind because I didn't bet Cam Smith the week before. I was I'm not betting Cam Smith this time.
You would have been very tilted on here if Henley won.
But, I didn't have Hideki. I don't know if you watched it all, but even if you just watched that one playoff hole, that 3-wood from Hideki was just dumb. That was so
I mean, it was absolutely iconic. The fact that
from 280. What the hell?
The fact that we have that kind of iconic moment this early in the season just shows how fucking awesome golf is. I love it. I love real life aspect on it. If you guys are listening to Sam and I, we know you love golf because it's a great sport and it's early in the year. As you and I both know, Sam, people will start coming as we get closer towards Masters and TPC and all that stuff. Yeah. But again, it's so early in the year. Shout out to you guys, the listeners, for even tuning in because, another thing I want to address is a couple questions in Discord this week to my personal DM was, Anthony, how do you feel you've got to this point, win, lose, or draw, just on knowledge alone of DFS golf? I mean, yes, I like golf, but Sam and I are a great example of it. It is kind of a grind, but that's what we do in the props and gambling and DFS streets. We kind of pay attention. I mean, sure, Sam has weeks where he's on vacation or he's got family things, and same with me. But Sam and I generally are paying attention every single week from January 1 to December 31st in golf. Even in fall swings, if I'm not playing, I'm kind of casually monitoring things. So it's kind of a loaded question when I get those questions. I mean, yes, we have all the data. I'm looking right now at Sam's, projections portal. I'm looking at your odds betting thing that's now live on DFS Karma, the PGA betting table. No surprise, John Rahm number 2, Cantley number 2, John Rahm number 1. But you just got to be paying attention, and you just got to listen to us on these podcasts. A lot of it is fun and games, and we talk about values of the week. But if you listen week after week, I promise you'll start to pick up on tendencies that Sam and I have on guys. And we'll just filter out the noise and whatever narrative is for the week. So with that being said, I think that's a great segue into this week. And we mentioned this last week. This doesn't mean John Rahm's going to win this week. I'm not on there to say that because this field, I don't want to say it's weak, but Rahm is clearly the favorite. Cantley's up there too, though. Can't overlook him. But I just logged into pricing on Monday, and my immediate thought in my head was the same as Sam's. And I thought 11,300 just seemed too cheap for DraftKings specific. Again, that's different than betting. I think that I'm going to start my main lineup with John Rahm, and honestly, I think it's going to become a tendency. Just like I said, this year, we said it the last couple of years, John Rahm's the best player in the world, whether he is ranked number 1 or not. And I want to play John Rahm as much as I can. So if he has a bad week, so be it. but his bad weeks, he comes in third, fourth, or fifth. I mean, joking aside, just make a good lineup with the rest of the guys. I know it's challenging at times, but is that what you're doing to start the week? There's other guys, Finau, Scotty Scheffler,
Yeah.
Henley.
I mean, yeah, again, anything can happen always in golf, obviously, but like I said this, I think I said this to you last week, or I've definitely talked to you about it off the pod. It's like Rahm legitimately is just like, I don't just know week's game. Like I'm not comparing him to Tiger, but like how good he is in these fields compared to other guys is semi-Tiger-esque. That he just like, obviously no one wins every week, but like, God, he's just overwhelmingly the best player. It's just not even close. Like it's not even close at all. Not to mention, this week you have not only see the best player stats wise and everything like that, but then he's also like one here and comes sixth. Like, of course, he just has to pile that on too. It's like he's just so far and away the best player.
He's in godlike mode right now. I mean, is any Halo fans out there? He's on a running riot the last like 4 years. I mean, it just doesn't even matter. Like, I love him. He's literally my favorite emotional player in the world. He's my favorite actual golfer. I love everything about him. But what I want to touch on when I say tendencies and I say, Sam, are you starting your lineup? Because, again, I know we do. Sam, I know gets DMs. So do I. I know we have new people listening, and we love that. We love that new people start to blossom. I mean, every year I feel like this podcast grows. But we're talking about one lineup, right? I use the optimizer. Here's another example of how to play this. Game theory-wise, say you make 150 lineups, right? I'm still going to have, 30% of Jon Rahm because I'm that bullish on him. But you could go even the field on him and still have massive leverage because if you have 70% of lineups without Jon Rahm, you can still pick and choose other guys as we go throughout this podcast. So that doesn't mean you lock Jon Rahm in 100% of your lineups. Again, if you make one lineup, I get it. You might want to go that route. Yeah. That's what I'm doing for my main build this week. But again, in GPPs, dude, I got no problem with going with Scotty Too Hottie, my boy, this week. Of course, Finau. I'm never going to stop for Finau, but I'm not starting my main lineup there. Frankly, I think Sungjae is probably the play.
Did you stole my thunder? In my article, it's not out. Will be out after this. Like, I literally have Finau as my leverage play, dude. I never play Finau, but like, he's come top 15 here the last 2 years. He fits this course. He finally got that win last year after not winning for like 100 years. So I think Finau's a great play. I like Scotty. I will say, kind of bury the lead. I mean, Cantlay is like very close to Rahm. I mean, if you go back to the PGA last year, Cantlay has 3 wins. He finished top 5 2 weeks ago. He has top 15s, the U.S. Open, Travelers. Like, he has 1 miscut. Like, his play is definitely pretty scary good also. But I mean, plus with these like weird conditions, and I mean, Cantlay plays so slow. He's probably right in his element anyway. So I don't know. I mean, there's actually a chance I think that Cantlay could come in slightly higher owned than Rahm because people think that $400 makes like a huge difference, but it doesn't. But like, I don't know. I mean,
that's why I was laughing when I saw pricing because you just look at this field. I was like, okay, Rahm's going to be 12K something, and then it's like, wait a second, he's basically the same price as Cantlay. Whatever, and then it's like, okay, then you're dropping a Finau and Scotty. I love those guys, but they're like almost the same price. So, enough of that range. Let's move down. Let's go to like Sungjae down to like, almost Justin Rose at 8,600. I'll just start and then you can start the next section. I played Sungjae last week. I tried to get a little cute. It didn't work out in my main lineup. I pivoted off Webb, which, as you can see, you actually alluded to. You tossed me up the softball there. It worked, but it didn't. Like, Webb did not have his game, and frankly, he fucking lucked out that he made the cut. I mean, he barely made the cut.
Yeah.
And Sungjae was just off on Thursday. He actually played really well on Friday. I think Sungjae is going to bounce back this week. And frankly, again, talking about like, running the optimizer, even if you only do 20 lineups, I mean, Sungjae, I have no problem with going double the ownership this week. If we're projecting him at, say, 15%, I would get him at 30 this week. And that's how you get some leverage. Start with him, and work your way down. And then real quick, Sam, I'm never going to stop going back to Corey Connors. 94 seems very fair for this price range. And then our joke that we have on this podcast is our players who win or come in second tired. And I think the PGA community is butthurt because a lot of them bet Russell Henley this week. And I don't think a lot of people are going to play Henley. Henley's probably one of my favorite plays of the entire slate in DFS. He did 9K just seems very fair price. It seems like another course that sets up very well for him. So, those are the guys I'm looking at right now in my main builds.
You just stole like all my thunder because I feel the exact same way. I like Henley a lot. I think he'll be owned, but not like what he should. Plus, whenever people see like just if he was 8,900, he might be a lot more popular. But then as soon as he's 9,000, people are like, no, I can't pay that for Russell Henley. There's just no way I can pay that. So I think I'm in under-owned. I actually think I wrote up Corey Connors. He's my favorite play of the week, and he is all the time. But I think he's actually a great value. And like we all know what he's good at. We all know what he's bad at. I actually really like Cameron Tringali. Remember how chalk he was last year all the time?
Yeah.
And then, like we were playing him, he wasn't as owned, and then he started to be owned. I was like, I'm not playing like a 25% on Tringali. I mean, Tringali, he hasn't played in a while, but he didn't start. He came 7th. Before that, he had a 2nd. I mean, this course, he's not played particularly like incredible here, but he's one of the only guys I've seen that has played all 10 years. He's used to these like 7-hour rounds. He knows the course. So I have no problem because Tringali, I mean, the worst part of his game is he just sucks off the tee, but at an easier course like this, doesn't really matter. Not to mention the course is set up so easy because amateurs are playing. So I like him there, and I think he'll be, much less owned than that of Henley or Zalatoris, who people still really love. I think Patrick Reed gets some buzz. The guy I'm interested in here, I don't know why. Maybe I'm just like looking at some wrong stuff. If Answer is going to be 20% owned, I am not playing him.
Something's off with Answer right now.
Awful,
he's going to be mega chalk. He's going to be mega chalk. I avoided him last week.
Yeah.
I got off that landmine, and I think he's going to be the highest player of the slate. And listen, I'm not laughing because I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm laughing because I just got a smell of, I feel like this is the Joel Dahman play of the week. And I'm not saying he's obviously a much better player than Dahman, so I don't mean it like that, but I don't know. That's the vibe I got in this range. I like a lot of other guys. I do like Answer.
No,
I don't know, man. Like
I get it. I mean, his missed cut last week also, like, the only thing is I'm surprised his ownership is this high because his missed cut last week was so bad. Like, it was a terrible just string of events how he missed. That's something that pissed me off that last week is, like, I avoided Dahman. I avoided Sungjae Im. I avoided, like, Answer in every but one of my lineups. I'm like, how did I must suck real bad if I avoided all this chalk.
Welcome back to golf. It's the,
it's the best. Will you be playing any Ricky?
What's his price point? I mean, did you jump down the board here? I didn't know he was in this
85,
range.
dude. I don't know why he's all of a sudden in the mid.
Oh man, no, I can't play him. Oh my God, you're right. Oh, 85. I just assumed it was going to be low 7s. I missed my boy Ricky. I did make a blurb in our Discord chat. Shout out to that product. You can check that on the website. You can talk to Sam and I and all the other guys and all the other sports. I did say I'm kind of on Ricky this year. That doesn't mean this tournament or last tournament or the following. I'm going to take some shots in Ricky this year. But not here, not now, not at 8,500. Leverage-wise, I do like your call on Tringali. Like, I didn't even really see his name. Your projections portal, shout out to Sam. If you guys don't already know, it's funny. We have customers sometimes, I swear to God, Sam, and I know you will believe me with this, but they'll ask me where I'm looking at to see, like, my ownership projections and, like, the value that we talk about on the podcast. I'm like, guys, it's on the website. You literally pay for it. Like, you're already a subscriber, and they go, "Oh, I thought I just had Discord or something." So there's
people should know, like, that's all I'm using. Like, what I'm making is what I'm using. So it's like I'm not just making up. I don't have all of this knowledge just in my head. Like, yeah.
To circle back though, the data. And again, we say the data doesn't lie. It really doesn't. But again, life happens, sports happen. It doesn't. It's not an exact science. The projections portal really likes Russell Henley and Corey Connors. And it's funny, we're already on them. Again, they're going to be owned, but nobody's going to be unknown. But it looks like early on, even you're projecting them to be relatively lower owned compared to a lot of these other guys. Like, if I can get Russell Henley half or 1/3 of freaking Abraham Answer, I mean, yes, please, right? Like, can I make it all work? Can I make Connors, Henley, and Rahm work? I don't know, because that's a lot of salary. I was kind of toying around with that build, but again, we'll come down to the guys below that. I like your call a lot though on Tringali. I have a feeling I'm not going to get on Wolf this week, only because I think he's going to be too high owned. But I am very high in Wolf this year in general. If he burns me this week, he's going to burn me.
Dude, I saw someone say this, by the way. Did you know that Matthew Wolff is still ranked a top 30 player in the world?
it's surprising. I mean, to say the least.
Well, no, just because he hasn't played. Like, I don't know what he did so much. Anyway,
he's mega talented. Real quick though,
and Willie Z, I never play him. People are just obsessed with him.
Well,
he's really
good, I got into a little love affair with him last year, and it turned out to burn me towards the end. So right now, I am off the Willie bandwagon. I think there's something wrong with his iron game. Don't quote me on that, but I had something about golf too. Like Sam watches a lot of golf, so do I, and I feel like, again, Sam, you can tell me if you disagree. It's totally cool. I actually feel like I get a lot of value just hearing the interviews. There's so many golf interviews. It's not like football or basketball where everybody gets interviewed after their round because that's just not how it works in those sports. Like there's only a couple main guys that are getting interviewed. I feel like with golf, everybody gets interviewed after their round because they're walking off the 18th, and the PGA Channel needs something to talk about real quick. So I like hearing where these guys' games at. And I'm pretty sure Willie recently said he doesn't like where he's at. Taylor Gooch, I think, is a good play this week. For what it's worth.
But if he gets I love Taylor Gooch. I've played him a lot.
He's too expensive.
I mean, it's the same thing with Shane Power. Like, I like Shane. I like them both, obviously, like everyone else will rate out well. But, like, Seamus Power, I mean, I liked him at Tourney of Champions. He was good. And then I liked him last week. I didn't play him. He was chalky. Finished, like, T3. I mean, I don't know.
Taylor Gooch is almost $10,000. Like, don't get me wrong. I like me some Taylor Goochies. Like, we played Mr. Gooch plenty of times. But, damn, dude. I mean – Tony Finau has way more win equity, and he's right there. He's $500 more, and I don't think people are going to play Finau, to your point. Okay, let's move on to kind of the next range. Start moving down, and some guys you want to talk about in the next range.
I mean, right here, we have some serious, like, Sam staples. We got Carlos Ortiz, who is way overpriced. I will be playing him. Then we have okay, first of all, just going back. Carlos Ortiz, I know I talk about him all the time. He is absolutely overpriced, like, for sure. But, like, he can win, as he showed. His most recent outing was 4th at one of my comp courses, so sucks at putting, but a lot of guys I like suck at putting. I like Johnny Vegas. I get a little worried he's going to get steamed up a little bit. I don't know. He's someone like I have no problem fading, gets chalky, and that's the same with the next. I think Luke List may come in way higher owned than I think he is because it seems like everyone likes Luke List, which is like that's never good. Like that's just not good. So
I feel like there's always a trend, especially early in the golf DFS season. Like there's just the same names every year. Like you just said, Vegas. Believe me, I like playing Luke List too once in a while, but like I feel like you can't play these guys when they're like in this weird mid-price range and they start getting owned.
If List is going to be like 10, I'm fine with that. If he's going to be like 17, I'm not fine with that.
Luke List can just fucking win, though. I mean,
you like to think. I mean, I'm definitely not playing a chalky Adam Hadwin. I don't.
Hell no. Dude, I would never touch him with a 9-foot blow here.
Oh, people literally look at him and like, okay, he shot 59 here like 6 years ago. He's come like top 5 million times, and then I'm like, okay, he's also like been terrible for the last like 2 years. But
he does play well here though historically. Oh my god, his course history. Oh my god, Sam.
No, it's insane.
We might have to.
No, I know.
There's something here magical for him. It's 6th place, second.
Trust me.
3rd place, second.
If I play him, he'll miss the cut. Like there's just no way.
Adam Hadwin needs to be owned though if you're running the optimizer. Like you got to have some Adam Hadwin bullets. There's something about this course for him.
I started to write up Russell Knox before I got the ownership, and then saw he's going to be 10% plus, and immediately just deleted it. And I was like, nope, not doing it. Russell Knox beats me, and I support him all the time.
Shout out to your boy AC, who played him in his main lineup last week. That's right. I played him at 1% ownership across the board, and my God, did Russell Knox have a great week. He kind of faltered a little bit on Sunday, I think, down the stretch. It didn't really hurt or help me because he came in 7th place. You know, you're right. He's going to get owned, but Sam, do you have his actual data from Fantasy National in front of me? I'm curious how he achieved those goals last week. Was it a lot of putting, or was he actually ball striking proximity? Was it a good week? Can you confirm or deny?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He gained 5 strokes on a pro. He gained every category.
I had a feeling because
he's just such a bad putter. Like if you looked at he gained a stroke and a half putting last week, so he came 7th. Before that, he had lost over 3 per tournament. Of course, you play him the first time he's gained strokes in 3 months. But
we play Russell Knox way too much. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah, no, way too. I mean, it's just not. I don't know. I don't mind him. I thought about betting him, which is even dumber.
He can't win. There's no way Russell Knox can ever win a tournament.
I absolutely will play Adam Long. Dude, Adam Long, I saw this from Rick Gaiman, from Rick Run Good. He was doing this thing. I think it's his last 25 tournaments or something. Adam Long has literally finished in the top 30 or missed the cut. That is hilarious.
He missed
and
last
the exact.
week.
Oh yeah, I was on him. He's on my main lineup. And then I think I like him. He just is such a good short game. That's why he won here when he took down Phil. And it's weird. Normally people just gravitate to guys like that, but since he's 7,600 and not in the 6Ks like he normally is, I don't think he's going to be that owned. I really hope you don't fall for the Glover and Harold Varner chalk.
No, you know me. I kind of am all about Glover, but tell me why I shouldn't. Isn't he number 1 in approach or something last week? I mean, he came in 5th place.
He was. I mean, first of all, everyone knows about the putting. I mean, second of all, I heard Mayo talk him up, so he's going to get steamed up to above 10%, and I'm not doing that.
He does move the needle, but I will say,
for a guy like that, he absolutely moves it, which is so frustrating.
Sam and I have this ongoing battle the last few years on these podcasts and again, I think it's just an open-ended question. If you're making one main lineup, and I was very good at this because I'm a chalk eater historically in all sports, not always, but I think I'm going to maybe go back a little bit towards my main golf lineup building from a few years ago and just kind of not worry about ownership. I mean, again, that might be a really bad take. I've been trying to get a little bit more cute over the time with my main builds, like a Russell Knox. It paid off.
Sorry. I'm laughing because Glover gained 9.5 strokes on approach last week, and the next closest was Henley at 6.6. Just in the field and approach. I
mean, when he's on,
he is. No, he's an elite ball striker. He's like a worse Corey Connors.
By the way, speaking of guys in this range, shout out to our boy Charles Howell. We talked him up last week, and what did he do? We said he'd come in the top 20, 25. Oh, he faltered a little bit.
I'm such a sucker, dude. I'm such a sucker. I said he had upside, so I pivoted off him. Just so dumb. That's so stupid.
See, Harold Varner, I don't think is going to get as owned as you think because his course history. People will look at that.
People just like him. People just like him, so they play him.
That's I know, and that's why I think we have an edge.
Sebastian Munoz is the lock of the week, honestly.
Is he? You're pretty good on calling him.
Dude, 75. Okay, but it's because people don't want to embrace the variance with him. He's going to make all his putts 2 out of 5 times and come in the top 20 or top 10. And other times he misses every putt and misses a cut. But I'm fine embracing that variance. Good on. Can we talk
about James Harden real quick?
About who?
James Harden at 7,500. The beard. Harden. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mr. Michael Thompson has gone full-blown James Harden on us.
15% though, no thanks. Not even considering.
Wait, whoa. He's going to be how much?
No chance.
Oh, my God. He's going to be 25% owned? Jeez. I really like that play. He's only missed 1 cut since July 4th last year. I mean, he's playing some good golf. But
dude, if you want the ultimate bounce back play, this is a classic DFS golf, dude. Denny McCarthy barely makes a cut last week. Awful on the weekend. Finished tied for 68th, 3% owned. Going right back. No,
that's a really interesting point. Although he doesn't have good history here. I got to admit, though, you have a good take on Thompson. As much as I actually didn't know that. I didn't see the projected ownership. But I think we've hit our Joel Dahman portion of the podcast. Again, shout out to both of us because we called it last week. I'm not fucking touching Michael Thompson in my main lineup because I'm okay with high-owned guys on the upper echelon, the 8Ks, the 9, the ROMs. I don't care. But you're right.
I mean, there's just no need for it.
I talked him up for a hot second. Now I'm off him just like that. So thank you.
Oh,
my God, Jason Davis.
Can I just a chalky Hayden Buckley at 7,200?
I've never even heard of Hayden Buckley. Who is this guy?
He's off the Corn Ferry. He's good, but I'm not playing a chalk.
I hope Ben tunes into our podcast, which he won't, but I hope he tunes in just for that exact moment when I'm like, who the hell's Hayden Buckley? Like, it is funny. I mean, people got to understand there's over 160 golfers in a lot of these tournaments. Sam and I know pretty much 90% of them, I feel like, but there are some guys that slip through the cracks that we don't know it. Well, you know more of them than I do, but.
My favorite low-end option in this range, right? So first of all, he's like the same. He's the same price as Buckley. Who's Kramer Hickok, dude. Only 72 course history, whatever. But I mean, he's gained on approach into his last 3. He was like 20th, good putter. I think he's pretty solid play. I like Kramer.
He played well
he's
last
also really
week.
good off the tee.
He played well last week.
Yeah, he was like top 15, I want to say. Yeah, I mean, he's like a below average putter, like a lot of guys again, like I like, but he's like not awful in Bermuda. Who else was I gonna talk about around here? Oh, are you playing Jason Day at 7,300?
Absolutely not. That motherfucker cost me so much money the last 18 months. I'm so done with Jason Day. You watch him win right now. I mean, if he wins, obviously you need to like put this clip publicly, but no, I'm done with him, dude. He just doesn't care. He's always hurt. Don't troll me on him in a majors. I spent fucking $4,000 on this bitch like during the Master. I don't even know. It never again. I'm done with Jason Day. That's my rant on Jason Day.
You brought him up pre-pod. I mean, so Adam Stenson is about to be chalk, which is hilarious. That's a riot.
I don't think he's going to be
good.
chalk.
Like, he is good. Dude, I mean, it's all relative though, right? Like, that's why it's okay. Like at 7,000, like someone who's 12 to 15% owned, like that is chalk to me. Now, if Rahm was 12% owned, no, that's stupid. But like, dude, Svensson like is good, but his short game kind of stinks. Like, he's not a very good short game. But
yeah, but aren't these greens really tiny? I mean,
no, you're thinking of Pebble.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh wow! Next week I just realized Torrey Pines. It's gonna be a loaded field. Wow,
God, I can't wait. I thought the Torrey Pines was this week. I got like a little bit excited.
I did too. I know. I was.
And then I saw the field and I was like, no.
So I like Andrew Putnam. I hate that I'm not alone in that. I've seen a couple other people talk about him. Andrew Putnam is like playing well for the first time in like 3 years. Like actually,
I played him in a big tournament. I forget. I don't know if it was a major, but it was in the fall. It was right before the fall swing. I have no problem with it because Putnam has like that gritty, like European, like actual winning upside. I know that might be an absolutely terrible take, but Putnam's the type of guy that like I trust him more to close out than some of these other jokers that we've talked about already, and at least get to a top 5.
No, he has. I think he has top 5 upside. I mean, you're looking at the guys that run him. I mean, you talk about Whaley a little bit. I mean, Danny Lee, my nemesis. I hate his guts.
I won 20K with him once. I'm always a loyal Danny Lee guy.
I hate his guts. I mean, I don't know if you have anyone else to run there. I mean, I have a couple guys below. I think honestly, like there will be a couple names in this below 7K range that will like make or break people's weeks. It just depends. I mean, as always, I'll fade the people that are chalk in the 6K range if there is any. I think another one, like I was saying about Danny McCarthy, is Chad Rainey, who I liked last week, and he was kind of chalky-ish last week. Now no one's playing him after he missed the cut. He's a terrible putter. He's just a really good ball striker, so he's going to miss like a lot of cuts. But I like Chad Rainey. I like Davis Riley too.
Chad Rainey projects the 5th best player in your entire karma value model for what it's worth. FYI.
Yeah, because he can rack up birdies. He just like is such a bad putter. So sometimes he just like loses millions.
Where did he come from? The Corn Ferry Tour recently? Is he a young guy?
Yeah, he like tore it up. He missed like I think he may have honestly missed like one cut in like 30-some starts on the Corn Ferry.
So you brought up Chad Rainey. I got to look him up right now. That's interesting. You know why I like that? And if anybody still is listening for the 5 people left, I like hearing things like that because if you can get a guy like this that makes the cut, I don't even care what position he comes in because if I got Rahm in my lineup, who's probably going to win or come in second, and like Sam just said, this guy racks up birdies, that's just DraftKings points. So that's how I like to think about when I make my builds. Is who are the guys that are just going to score points regardless of position. I think and I'm not a big NASCAR DFS player, but I feel like the position in NASCAR is a little bit more important, and position in golf is not. So that's interesting.
That's like a good example of that. Yeah, it's like someone like Finau constantly. He might finish like T18, but come like top 10 in DraftKings points. So
Rainey hasn't made a cut though since Halloween, but whatever.
What are you talking about? I don't think that's right.
I mean, unless he's been playing on the Korn Ferry Tour as well. The RSM Classic, the Sony. He played last week. He just missed the cut. He had an okay fall. The Shriners and the Bermuda Championship in Sanderson Farms because he played okay there.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's going to be volatile. It's a different. I mean, last week was the first week he lost on approach since he started on the PGA Tour. I mean, dude, his Korn Ferry stuff, last year, I'm just looking at Fantasy National because they have Korn Ferry stuff now. I mean, in 2021, he literally had like a win. He had, I think, like 6 or 8 top 15s or better or more. He had he missed literally 0 cuts on the Korn Ferry. That's crazy.
Hey, not to get off topic, we'll kind of start finishing up, but Russell Henley hasn't made a cut here in his last 6 attempts. That's really interesting.
I don't really that. I mean, here it's just because look at how random the leaderboards are.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I mean, he is coming off an emotional loss. I can listen. 20 max entry, 100 lineups. Absolutely, I'm going 3x the field, but I will kind of take a second, harder look and just evaluate. I just wanted to bring that up so I don't sound like.
Yeah, it just I know it can be kind of qualitative in a way. But like sometimes, you have to look at these guys with terrible history. It's like they're just so not the same player. Like you look at, if you look at someone like,
it's true.
Like who am I looking at? I don't know. Like, I mean, even this is a bad example probably, but like someone like, Seamus Power. It's like the last time he was out here was a missed cut, but that was in 2019, right? Like he's obviously way better now. He has a win. Like I just think it's a little different. I think it's a little more sticky for guys who played a lot. But I mean, look at someone like I don't even know, like dude, Vincent Whaley. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna make the cut and win.
I do like me some. Hey, I want you to talk to me about a guy named Taylor Moore. How do I not know about this guy? He's kind of popping in your model.
Off the Korn Ferry. Yeah, he's like super value. I think a lot of like optimizers and stuff will like him. He's good. He's
he ranks 2nd in your karma value. That's really high. Never heard of him.
If I'm not mistaken, he's like him, like Rainey, Alex Smalley, a lot of these guys that people don't really know yet. Yeah, Taylor Moore. I mean, he just makes a ton of birdies and he like can get a really hot putter. He just is his irons can be like super wonky, but like he can make a ton of birdies.
And again, for the 3 people now left at this portion of the podcast, I mean, this is how I make my builds, guys. I mean, in all seriousness, there's not always tournaments that I don't know all the players, but I'm looking down the cheap guy and like, my God, Taylor Moore, there you go. He's the number 2 projected karma value. Like I'm telling you right now, I might play him in my main lineup this week. I've never heard of him, but I'm going to go by the data. A guy like Chad Rainey, I might as well. He's top 5. Vincent Whaley, he's in there. Top 6. Henley's in
my main lineup would probably be Jason Duffner at 6 because I have a Jason Duffner problem.
Oh God, how much? What is
a serious problem?
He's won here at least. I mean, hasn't he?
I think so.
No, yeah, he has in 2016. See, that's how long we've been grinding the DFS golf street. There's no way I'm playing Jason Duffner. I mean, I know you have a Duffner problem. I mean, he easily could just come top 5. I mean, I don't know.
Some Hank Lebioda because before he had to leave for medical letter, he lost his entire game. He
oh my God,
pretty good.
Wait, Hank?
I like Tyler McCumber. You don't know at 6,600.
You remember when Hank was like 9,500? That was funny.
Well, dude, because he won on a streak. He won. He was like top 10 in like 4 straight tournaments, and then like literally he had like a family emergency, and then missed like 9 cuts in a row.
If you just click on Hank Laboda's game log, that looks like my game log. Like I was good at golf for a number of years, and then I sucked for a long time, and it's just bad.
Wheels completely fell off.
Yeah, it's like he forgot. Can't talk about that.
those are probably the last guys in that range. I mentioned Davis Riley. He's a stud.
All right. Let's start wrapping it up. For the people that wait to the very end, we got to drop one bet. You know, Steven does a great betting article at betkarma.com. It's coming out, I think, actually first thing in the morning, usually on Tuesdays. You know, again, we have the data. I'm looking at the PGA betting tool. That's a little bit different than the projections portal. You can access all this stuff at dfskarma.com, and there's more and more stuff coming to Bet Karma. So I'm looking at the sports books, Sam, right now. Do you have any bets locked in yet already? Like, and of course, a value bet. Of course, we can't bet Rom as much as I'd love to.
Yeah, I haven't made them yet. I'm about to probably after this pod because I was just running my stuff versus the my odds versus the Vegas. I have really good. So obviously I like Tringali because I liked him again DFS. I think he's a decent bet. I think DraftKings Sportsbook has him at 45. You can probably find a better number, but my longer shot would be Johnny Vegas just because he's 80-1. I have him at much better odds than that. So
yeah, he's 70-1 in my book right now that I'm looking at.
Based on the stuff I ran, like my stuff for this week, I have him at like a 55-60. It's like fair odds, so I like the 80. I'll probably bet Munoz too because I'm such a sucker.
Yeah, you know, just looking at the board this week, I mean, I just think I'd love to live in the 30 range as the year goes on, 30, 40, 50. I mean, hell, this looks like a week that I probably will be diving even a bit deeper, reducing my bankroll. I mean, this is a tournament that, like you mentioned, a Duffner, an Adam Long. I mean, anybody and anyone's going to win. And then, of course, there's just freaking Rom lurking that I feel like there's no way to really hedge around this week. But I'm still going to toss in a few bets and have fun with it because this is one of those fun weeks. But, yeah, if I'm going to pick one right now, you know what? Let me stay on brand with the guy I kind of hyped up. I'll go with – I think I did say he can't win. But at 80-1, I'll toss a couple bucks on Russell Knox. I'll probably tail your bet on Tringali. Man, Gary Woodland's 80-1 here too. I mean, he could
thought about that.
Win.
I really hope that Gary Woodland and Ricky play well, ball striking wise this week and miss the cut due to putting, so I can play next week.
Yeah, I got my bets in there. So that does it. We're trying to keep these podcasts around, the 30, 35-minute mark for you guys. I mean, the majors and stuff will be a little bit more. We'll have a couple of our other gentlemen joining us as the year goes on here, like I said, and we'll go from there. Good luck this week. Sam, anything else?
Nope. Good luck and get ready for Torrey next week. It's like the official, best, great
that is,
start of the season.
Cool. Good luck this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.